Hello, my name is Zach Rye with Old Man Gaming. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Astral Drive, our ongoing actual play in the single mod system. I will be your game master tonight. However, I cannot do this without my wonderful, exquisite players. Directly above my head, you see Aether Dios / Jerrold Abrego.
Yellow.
Right in the middle, our resident build master general, nursing a little bit of a cold, Philbilly 330 playing Nulla Stonehand.
What's up, guys?
And then finally, last but certainly not least, our partner in all things TTRPG, Wizards Respite's Ash. He is playing Alfred White Castle.
Howdy, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right back into the action as things continue to heat up. Alright. So, you make the trip. It is relatively uneventful as you head towards the ranch. The ranch wasn't that far out of town, like to the south. It wasn't that far. It was like a few hours. Well, more than a few hours. Probably like half, three quarters of a day's travel there with the horses in tow. However, you guys are approaching. It's been pretty quiet. You guys drank water, eaten some food, that sort of thing. When you hear some shouting from outside the limo, Tobias kind of like peers out the window. He goes, "Oh no, I can't believe this is happening." Your felly is on the outside, kind of doing the shouting.
These windows go down at all?
Yeah, you could see out of them too. You actually see some dust kind of off to the back. She's pointing when you look out, and you can see some dust kind of off to the back of the limo. You'd say probably about, at this point, about 200 yards out, but you guys are in a pretty long chunk of just empty tundra. So, like, there isn't anybody else around, so they're not here for somebody else. You see probably about five people on tactiles, but these are without a doubt natives. They are also the worst kind of natives for a pilgrim to see. They are Iggies, all five of them. Iggies are kind of like humanoid iguanas. They're a little bit bigger than humans, but they are the most hostile, the most hostile natural citizen of Genesis. They don't like the pilgrims. They hate the pilgrims. They view the pilgrims as a invasion, as tribes. They are very warlike. You see very few Iggies in towns or cities, and when you do, they are met with suspicion and probably a fair amount of hate, because Iggies usually kill pilgrims on sight. And they are riding hard and fast towards the truck.
Okay. Do we have radios or anything?
No. I mean, you do. You have your normal phone communicators, but she's outside riding. You're in a truck. It'd be a little bit harder to get a hold of her. She's motioning to them. There's two other mercenaries on a horseback who have been just kind of accompanying you guys. They seem to be arguing with the felly as the people are closing in. Tobias rolls the window down, and you can hear what they're arguing about. The felly's like, you have to cut the horses to go full speed. There's no way we're going to outrun them. Not at this speed. They're going to be on us, and they're going to take no prisoners. And the one's like, these are the horses of Matthias. They're chosen horses. We can't just let them go. At this point, Tobias is just kind of standing there. He's like, drop those horses. Give the horses to the savages? Is your felly actually serious?
How many of them are there?
Five Iggies.
There are. It looks like there are Iggies on fast approach that outnumber our guards, it would be in absolute value, it would be the they're very expensive. It's close.
He looks at him and goes, "Those are purebred tactiles. We cannot let them go. Not the pure savages." The Sinam, Eleanor Benshaw, kind of chimes in and goes, "Maybe we could talk to them. Discuss something. They do look hostile, but you're both very good negotiators." At this point, the Felly from outside sees that there's dissension in the ranks, and she goes, "They are going to kill us, or we're going to kill them. That is what's going to happen. Anything else?" She looks at you and goes, "My job is to protect you. If you don't want to cut the horses loose, we won't cut the horses loose. And I'll fight tooth and nail for you. But otherwise, we need to cut those horses loose, or they overtake us. We don't have any more time to think about this." They are closing fast. They're like within 100 yards now. You can actually see the lead Iggy. Looks like an older one, has this really long kind of gullet, like iguanas do, just kind of low, and has a top hat on that is somehow staying on his head, even though he's riding at full strength. But he is just... You just see him riding. He's missing one eye and has a scar over the other one, and his lizard eye is just like looking at you. You see him, he slowly pulls a rifle off his shoulder and kind of slings it up.
Dead men close no deals. I would say it would be the chances of our success of this process increase significantly at this cost, although it does make the trip significantly more, unfortunately, underwater.
Boom! You hear the shot go off as the lizard, who is no longer even using his hands on his tactile, just like riding upright with the rifle, aiming down sight. He fires. It looks kind of like what you'd think a Winchester repeater would look like, but it has just an incredibly long barrel, just a super long barrel. Just boom! He cocks it. When he cocks it, the barrel, which is like two barrels, actually spins, putting another barrel into place. The first bullet fires true, and you hear a guy go, "Oh!" And actually, one of the dudes on the back, the top of the buggy, just like topples over and crashes down to the dirt. As he does, call high or low for me.
High.
As he does, one of the tactiles gets caught up in him, falls forward. You can hear the neck snap from the thing as this thing just cracks and ends up starting to drag. It drags into the other tactiles, who are also kind of like trotting along. The buggy has started to speed up just because the driver is nervous, so they're running. But now this tactile is bumping into them, and the entire buggy is starting to shift and fall back and forth. Give me a really quickly, we're going to say endurance conditioning. Difficulty's 10, as the entire buggy kind of like lifts with the entire shift of the horses on the back.
I'm going to... I don't really get to add a whole lot. I'll take I'll spend a point for for bonus.
Bonus D20?
Yes.
Thank you for catching yourself.
I'm
Wizards
trying.
of the Coast is always watching.
They are. Well, it helped, just less than I would have liked it to.
Okay.
And it's endurance conditioning 6 and 18 because it's not contested.
It is not contested, but you do get a momentum out of that because the difficulty was only 10. You do not fall.
I get my momentum back as well.
Oh, because of luck?
That's a 17
nice.
on my...
Nice. So you're up a luck on
fortunate.
that one. I mean, up a momentum on that. So the entire thing shifts. Tobias actually topples backwards. So does the Cynam. Slam into the other side of the buggy. You catch the kind of the door well, kind of where the windows roll down. You put your hand over the outside and actually hold yourself in place as the whole thing shifts and lifts. However, the buggy is forced to slow down slightly and come away. As it shifts and kind of spins sideways, it slams into Rayleigh Vixen's tactile. It actually like whinnies and kind of staggers away from the buggy. That being said, the buggy also slows. Rayleigh ends up getting ahead because the tactile kind of runs rampant for a second. The whole buggy slows, and now the Iggy's are maybe 50 yards. Like, you can see this Iggy, like, basically, and you just see he has this huge snake tongue come out of his mouth and lick his lips as that second barrel shifts into place to take the next shot. What are you doing?
Eleanor, let this be my first lesson to you. Sometimes a deal makes itself, and he just reaches out the window and cuts the rest of the lines.
Nice. Pulls out the knife. Okay, here's the only trick to this, though. The buggy is long enough that the back door, you can open the back door, but you won't be able to actually reach the lines unless you kind of hang out the back door and around the back end, which is completely fine. However, you must understand that I will be making you make checks, and if you fail them, you will fall.
I'm going to let's see, do I have a thing I can... depending on a lot of things, I can... do I have a seat belt that I can hold on to, or a pole that I can
You could definitely tie a seatbelt around you. I think you could, like, wrap a seatbelt around you enough that it would hook yourself in, without a doubt. I like that idea.
Yep.
I'll give you a maybe catch if you completely
I'm going to use it as
an anchor,
like a support line.
Okay. Okay, so here's the roll. I think because this would be kind of a climbing, this is going to be a competition roll. So it's going to be competition, and it is going to be, I'm going to say it's agility, though, because it's definitely, like, tricky kind of walking around. So I'm going to say competition agility. However, it is going to be difficult. I was originally going to give you a 15. I love the anchoring thing, though, so I'm going to actually give you a little bit of a bonus and make this difficulty only 12. Normally I would do 10, but I'm saying it's a -3 because of the seatbelt.
Hey, guess who's spending momentum again?
Okay.
Momentum I just got.
This is the time to use it.
This is. Unless you want to star in your own reproduction of Fury Road, this is the time to do it.
Well, I don't have either of those stats, so we're going to just go with it.
Well, agility is a stat.
I know.
Oh, you just have low. Okay.
Alright. That is Is it contested?
No, it is non-contested. The difficulty is
18.
Woo! Gain of momentum, sir. Okay. So you swing out. Now give me a...
And I get the other momentum back. I'm at a net
You're on
plus again.
fire. Apparently, we just need
I'm
to have
almost
you
at
in
max.
fights. Okay. So you...
Listen, you know this is gonna die real fast. I shouldn't use those words.
You have been on a roll lately. I will give you that. You kind of swing out with the seatbelt attached to you, kind of slamming into the back end, kind of whacking a couple of times because the entire buggy's kind of moving back and forth. You bring your big arm around with the huge knife and you go to bring it down onto the ropes. I'm going to need a force hand-to-hand check to cut those ropes in one go.
Hey, guess what? I'll do it again. I'm blowing those momentums.
Might as well. I mean, you're gonna get them all back. This is the last session before you get them back.
That's gonna be. Is this contested?
This is non-contested. I would say
that's actually
is...
a 21.
Okay, this difficulty is a 10, so you definitely bust that and get a momentum back again. So you cut it free. The tactile is kind of like the one dead one just kind of flops, while the other ones kind of spread out slightly and just start running. At this point, however, our Iggy friend, the other Iggies immediately spread out to go catch the tactiles. They were definitely there to loot the tactiles. But our top-hatted Iggy friend, he sees a target now, a big target, draped over the course of a big buggy. And those lip licking was not for any other reason than he wants blood. So after that chamber swings into place, he takes aim and he tries to get a shot on you.
I'm going to spend a momentum on defense.
That is a good call. That is a very good call. That is a very good call. He rolls terrible. So good for you. He rolls a 8 total.
And what does spending on a defense actually add? I forget.
You get advantage. You get advantage. You get to roll an extra d20 on defense. You can't do that on attack unless you take a perk that allows you to do that.
Well, I rolled real bad on that. So I didn't really get a whole lot out of that.
He rolled an 8, so.
Listen, okay.
Your defense would be hand to hand because you are holding a knife. So it would be hand to hand plus agility. Would be your single mod.
Agility, hand and. That's an 8.
Okay, so he hits you, but he does not do enough damage to do anything. However, because he hits you, you are going to have to give me an endurance. We're going to say endurance. Should it be resolved or conditioning? I think conditioning. Endurance conditioning, difficulty 10 to maintain your grip on the seatbelt. Well, no, on the car. We'll deal with the seatbelt in a second. But it hits your shell, kind of bounces off, but just the force of it makes you kind of messes with your concentration.
Spend the momentum again.
Probably a good
That's
call.
That's a 25.
Also a good call. Gaining momentum back. You manage to maintain grip of the buggy. And you see him cock, and the whole thing clicks into play as you manage to kind of pull yourself back into the door. Tobias has one hand on you. The Synam has one hand on you, but let's face it, they're not really doing anything to pull you in. They're trying, but they're not really helping. As they start to pull you in, you look back and you just see the Iggy kind of like he's still like his tactile slowing down. He still hasn't even put hands on the tactile. He swings the rifle over his shoulder as you look at him in the eye, and he just puts both hands out like some sort of psychopath, fingers outstretched in front of you, and just grins, and you see he's missing a bunch of teeth, just tons of like weird fang teeth. He just like smiles at you with his hands out, and then he makes this like huge call, like this weird squeal as his tactile turns around to rejoin the other ones. Tobias pulls you in and he goes, Abrego, are you alright? I was so worried. You can't do that. The Synam jumps in and goes, I hate to agree, but you are the second to the High Father. You can't put yourself in this kind of danger. That is why you have a felly. That is why you have a chaplain.
Unfortunately, the The if I must quote again, fortune despises the idle man. Sometimes to make the best out of a deal, one must act quickly.
Yes, when dealing, dear boy, not when putting your life on the line. We have the followers of Matthias, the followers of Bartholomew for that. You are the second to the High Father. You are the spoken word of Matthias himself. You must not endanger yourself again like this, please. He puts both hands on your cheek, and you are immediately taken back to, oh, that's right, he's a demon, and just goes, you are too important to everything in the future to put yourself in that kind of danger again. And then we switch back over to the other guys.
Jesus, man.
That was fun. That was a fun little action sequence. Okay, so Nellis, Alfred, you spend most of the remaining 18 hours kind of looking for stuff. You find the bricks. You know what they are. It's pretty standard stuff. And it's at this point that Croak kind of goes over the loudspeaker and goes, "Hey, y'all gonna want to come up here? We're here." You guys kind of go up to the bridge. You look out the front.
Did we each take one of those stones?
Okay. Did you guys take them or put them back in the locker? It's up to you guys. Nobody's around, so it's not like people would see your theft, but...
I think I would have pocketed one.
All right, place one on your character sheet.
Yeah, I would have actually probably grabbed one and...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it, take it up with me to talk to
Croak. Frog. Think of the voice. You guys get up there. You see out the front window, and there is like something kind of drops in the pit of your stomach when you look out the window. Just kind of like there is something eerie and fearful about this, like looking at an H.G. Geiger drawing for the first time. There's just something about this that is both exactly what you should be seeing and completely and totally wrong at the same time. Basically, what you see in front of you, just rotating through space, is just what looks to be 50-plus ships of various sizes, all docked together in various ways, creating this just weird ball of spaceships floating through space. Some of the lights are flickering on it. Some of the systems seem to be flickering on it. One of them even looks to be slightly on fire. You're not exactly sure. It is something else to behold. And this is, like I said, it's huge. Like, we're talking like huge cargo ships, like not like Croaks, like big like fleet ships, and all the way down to small little Corvette ships. Just literally like, oh, there was a port. They attached it at the port, and then that was that. So this thing, you do, however, to a keen eye, you're able to catch the Missionary One on one of the outskirts of that, kind of floating around on the outside. Crow kind of looks at you guys and goes, "Oh, guest of honor! Wonderful! So let me give you the rundown. I did a little analyzation while you guys were on your way up. Here's the situation. Things got itself in a little bit of a space topspin. Not exactly sure why. There's probably some sort of system gone wrong. Happens with these Scalera ships out here in 0G. So connecting to that thing is going to be pretty hard. There's only 2 places where I can reasonably do it, or really any ship out there could reasonably do it. You got one right here, and you see he kind of like he points to the glass, because there's obviously no blueprint of this massive nest of ships, but he points over to one side and he goes, and you see that this side is kind of like the Missionary One is on one, like if the entire thing was a shape, it would be kind of an oval, and at one point one pole is where he points. Directly across from it, all the way on the other side, would be where the missionary one is. He's like, this is probably the farthest from it, but it looks like it could be a straight shot. But let's face it, once you get inside, I don't know how those ships are going to connect to each other, so you're taking your shot there. Then he points to another one kind of on the side of the oval. As it spins, he's like, hold on, there. And then he points at a smaller ship that's kind of spinning. He goes, that one right there is closer to the missionary one inside this whole nest. But again, it's not a straight shot, so you're really half dozen of one, half dozen of the other. You either want to be closer or farther away, and you're either banking on a straight shot or no straight shot. It's how you want to do this.
Said that the Scalera, they don't really see us when we're walking around there as long as we don't interact with them in any way, correct?
He goes, yeah, here's the thing. Scalera just kind of want to be with other Scalera. They're going to be in there basically like half-hugging. As long as you don't damage them, shoot them, or touch them, they're not going to touch you. But when you do, they're going to go batshit crazy. My only advice, the only thing I've figured out, and they're not going to tell you this shit in the textbooks, because what Croak knows, nobody knows. Alright? You shoot those fuckers in the head as quickly as humanly possible. And if you gotta kill them, you kill them by killing them in the head. Because there's something about their head that allows them to talk to each other. So you leave that head alive and you shoot them, you're gonna have Scalera until all of them get shot in the face. Or get killed outright.
Well, that's good to know. I turn over to Nellis. If we take this straight shot, in some ways, it's more suited to your guns if things go bad. You'll have a straight line of fire.
Yeah.
But if we go along the side, it's not a straight shot. We might have to crawl through some more areas or locations, but we might have a better chance of sneaking around corners and staying somewhat out of view. But the real challenge is running into situations in which we can't easily maneuver around them, because it doesn't really matter if they can see us as long as we don't touch them. If they're clustered too tightly together, we're going to find a challenge. Perhaps if we go in through the side, there will be more avenues, ways to backtrack, but that might take longer.
So it's either the head-on or the stealth approach. Well, as captain, what do you see as being our best bet here? What's your vote?
Honestly, it's a little bit of a coin flip. I'll tell you, I am more apt to perform better in a stealthier environment.
Yeah, I don't think splitting up would be a good idea.
How do you handle with sneaking about? I know you're very much a guns first guy, but
I mean, I manage. Let me look real quick just to double check, but that uses agility, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 3 agility and a 1 stealth, so I'm adding +4 when we make stealth checks. It's
That's not
I'm
bad.
bad at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could take the stealth route. It might be more life preserving.
I do favor preserving my life.
Yeah, this coming from the guy who's damn near immortal, from what I can figure.
You say that out loud in front of everybody else?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
I didn't realize we were in a big group.
Yeah, you guys are all in the cockpit with Croak
Oh, okay.
and Santacano and Mavis and Pickles and everybody who could be here is right here.
I'd say it to him if I was alone.
Okay, all right. I figured. I was like,
But no, I'm not out and I'm in the middle of a mission.
Well, thanks, buddy. Now I have to kill everybody.
Well, then let's go for it. It ain't there ain't no right or wrong answer, and if we choose the wrong one, we ain't gonna know till we get we don't know what we're heading into.
Like I said, a coin flip. Why don't we take the stealth routes and flip the coin?
Sounds good.
all right. So you got Croak goes, all right, hold on a second. Uses his one hand to kind of flash across the board, and some lights come out that say docking procedure in process. He's like I said, gonna take a couple of seconds, gonna take a couple of minutes just because the trajectory's a bitch. But he walks back over into the kind of that table area. He walks over to kind of a small cupboard, kind of opens it, pulls out a box, puts it on the table, goes, all right, so here's the deal. I flew you here. Now, I am getting paid to fly you here, but I'm also a scrapper, and I know there's scrap in that there nest. So, if you guys is going in on my ship, here's all I ask. You run into a ship, you vent the cargo. It's real easy. I know, he points at Alfred and goes, I know Albert over here can definitely get it done because he's got some flying skills. You just vent it into space and I'll pick it up after the mission's done. You guys are flying out on your weird religious ship anyway, so it ain't going to be a problem for me to stick around and pull some of that shit in. We square, Kimasabi!
What'd you call me?
I called him Kimosabi.
Yeah, we're square, but if you're picking up this cargo, which might push us a little harder to maneuver around situations that are not advantageous for our survival, I think I might want to have a few more conversations with you about how things are going to go when we return to Genesis.
Hey, you talk too much. Minute you get in your ship, we done. That's the end of everything. And then he opens the box. He pulls out 4 of those stones that you guys found. He pulls out 4 of them, kind of lays them down on the table. He goes, I don't know if you know what this is or not. What these is, they're special from Axiom. Got my hands on a few of them. Love these things. Better than any vac suit or space suit. You put them on your skin, you rub the runes, they provide an atmosphere for you, because you better believe there's going to be ships in there without no atmosphere. So everybody take one. Santacano slowly grabs one, puts it on himself. So does Mavis. Mavis? Yeah, Mavis. He then looks up, he goes, as far as what I'm asking, don't put yourself in danger. It's a scrapper's code. You in danger? Stay out of danger. You cross the ship, though, with a panel, you press a couple buttons, you vent that cargo. Capiche?
I think we can work that out.
Damn
Are we going to be able to
straight.
contact you if we might need to discuss whatever's happening outside of the ship, outside of the hive?
Yeah, I know you all got Hearth Collective communicators, but... Then he pulls out of the box kind of these small, like, little dot communicators, hands them to each one of you, and goes, that thing will keep you in touch with each other and me. Go to channel 2, we're good to go. I'll monitor things from up here just to make sure nothing happens. I can't imagine anything is, but if something comes in to trouble you from outside, you'll know it from me. Always gotta be a lookout, champs.
All right.
Santacano actually leans into Nellis and goes, this one talks like we are doing crime? Are we doing crime?
Nah, man, we ain't doing crime. He's just used to a life of crime, so it's kind of embroidered into him. I think everything in his head is some sort of heist.
Croak does not hear any of that, or at least if he does, pretends not to, and just goes, "Hi, is everybody good?"
Good to go.
As good as we're ever gonna be.
All right, you guys hear the docking start to happen, and he goes, "All right, docking bay's out through the cargo hold. Head out there now." At that point, Santacano just kind of starts to plod along that way. Do you guys head towards the cargo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Mavis coming with us?
Yeah.
Did she pick up one of those?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
she
think
picked one up.
everybody's going.
Everybody's going except for Croak.
Yeah.
He's the lookout. All right, so you guys all start to head down. I want both of you to give me perception awareness. Difficulty's 20, though. It's a high one.
Oof.
Near impossible.
Yeah, definitely way not good.
Well, I'm losing my momentum anyways after this game. Might as well use the momentum. And I don't make it.
Okay.
I failed miserably also.
Yay. Well, how much did you guys fail by? That gives me GM momentum.
You got one from me.
Okay.
I got a 17 and an 18 randomly.
Okay, so just one from Phil. All right. You guys start to head out. You guys get over to the cargo. As you get to the cargo, you kind of realize Mavis isn't there, and then you see her kind of come walking out. She kind of comes up and stands next to you guys. She looks at you, Alfred, and goes, "I understand you're in charge. Just so you know, I know we didn't get to talk on the ship."
We're all in a very dangerous situation. I'm sure that I can depend on you as much as you can depend on me, as we need to survive this. Get on board our ship and get out of here safely.
Yeah, definitely. At that point, you hear the dock start to starts to kind of lock into place. At that point, like the cargo kind of slowly there's like a full cargo opening, but then there's also in the actual door kind of like a tubular kind of locking mechanism for just like getting on and off and docking. That kind of slides open, revealing like a very small hallway kind of in space to head to the I can never remember the name of them, but basically the airlock door for the first ship that you're about to go into. As you guys head towards it, really quickly, I would like... does either one of you have mechanics?
I do.
Or not mechanics, but would it be mechanics? I don't think it's mechanics. It's
I have mechanics.
Oh, that's weird. Is there a mechanics? No.
Yeah, it's on our character sheets. It's
What?
under intelligence.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. I definitely wrote this game, everybody. Okay, so yeah, give me a 10 difficulty intelligence mechanics roll.
I'm gonna use a thing to roll with bonus.
Good call.
Oh yeah, I got it. 18. I actually gained that back. 18, 20 total.
Okay. You you guys go up to the thing, and you just feel this like kind of heat off of the door that you're about to open, the airlock door. Like as you kind of step up towards it. Like, it's not burning your skin or anything, the actual thing, the airlock, but there is definitely like a heat. It doesn't feel like normal. You feel like this door has been floating in space. It should feel ice cold, but it's warm to the touch.
This is a door.
Yeah, it's like an airlock door, like a big heavy metal airlock door. This would be a door that would exit to space if this ship was just flying through space.
So does it give me the impression that there's like fire behind it?
I mean, there is heat off. I've given you everything I could give you.
Door's warm. The hell could that mean?
Maybe there's a fire behind it.
But it's an exterior door, right?
It is an exterior door, but the inside is interior.
So, like, our ship is butted up against this other ship's
Yes,
door.
you guys are walking basically through a hallway through space to the door.
How narrow is this hallway?
You guys cannot stand side by side. Like, you would be bunched up next to each other. It's like the size of the door, because this is specifically like a
Like
docking hallway.
An airplane,
Yes,
kind of.
yeah, it is specifically a docking hallway for docking to a ship. And be prepared for a lot of these hallways.
Lots of docking going on.
Yeah, a lot of docking.
Shit. I'm trying to think what we could do with this information.
Perhaps we either open the door slowly or even disconnect our docking hallway. We have these axiom, magic air stick things.
Yeah, no, I'm just worried.
You guys have put those on already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thing I'm worried about here is, you know how if there's a fire and you open a door, it causes a vacuum and can cause an explosion.
That's why I'm thinking if we disconnect our ship from their ship and do this through a spacewalk, the vacuum of space might pull the heat out of there and clear it out.
As a game master, I love that idea.
Yeah, then he can blow us into space. Yeah. What's around the door reinforced with?
Metal.
Fuck this. Back up, guys. And
The NPC's back up.
Yeah, I back up.
Okay.
I do go to as slowly as possible. Like, I kind of, when you're afraid something's gonna blow back at you, so you open the door, but you're putting tension against it as you're slowly trying to open it. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
All right. Give me a real quick mechanics intelligence roll just to open the door properly.
That'll be a 16 total.
Okay, take a momentum for that, and basically you kind of start to go through the mechanism, and you actually realize as you're going through it that the door kind of like the door monitor, kind of the not the monitor, but like the control panel for the door actually will give you a readout of like what's going on the other side a little bit, and you actually note that there is no atmosphere on the other side. I'm sorry, no, wait, hold on. Yeah, no atmosphere on the other side. So basically, just to deal with explosive decompression, you're going to have to vent the atmosphere from this hallway that you're in right now in order to be able to move into the next room. Or otherwise, you will open this door and everything will go boom.
Oh, so
regardless of the fire. No, you weren't off at all. It would be a vacuum explosion, though, because if you open the door while you have atmosphere here, it will be explosively sucked into the room without atmosphere. And, things will go very badly after that. But, I mean, the procedure is normalized, though. Like, it's probably not something that Nellis has dealt with too much other than outside of, like, training on the Hearth Collective because he's a country boy. And you don't do this kind of shit on Genesis, but it is stuff that you would have dealt with in training on Hearth Collective. Is just be one of those, like, I did this in the academy, I'm a little rusty sort of thing. But basically there is a procedure where the door will shut, the atmosphere will vent from the hallway itself to normalize so that you can open the door and pass through without some sort of explosive decompression. So you just have to
turn. Yeah, I turn and relay. I'm like, I think I understand this. It's just like in training, White Castle. We're entering a place where there is no atmosphere. We need to vent the atmosphere in this here hallway so that we don't create some sort of vacuum.
I'll get right on that. Everybody have their Axiom magic stick things. Magic
Stones.
Santacano and Mavis both nod. They're on and ready.
Okay, I'll probably go to the controls. I'm sure, being a pilot, I have done before.
You don't even need to roll at this point. Nellis is taking care of the rolls. We're able to vent everything, and the doors slowly they slide open after the venting happens. What's interesting is while there is no atmosphere here, there is weirdly gravity here. Like somehow the gravity generation unit is still working even though there's no atmosphere. So it doesn't actually feel any different to you guys. You just know that there's no air around you, and if you did not have this magical stone attached to you, your head would pop like a zit, basically. You guys, once the door is open, however, you do see the reason for the heat. There is active fires going on inside this ship. This ship seems to be a smaller kind of like archipelago style ship. You can tell there's a lot of like very brass and coppery things inside of it, gears that probably shouldn't be there. It has that steampunky feel. So, and Alfred, you're very familiar with this kind of style of ship. It is a definite archipelago ship. But as you move kind of into the small ship opening, this would be the cargo bay, but this you could tell would be a small civilian, almost private transport. So the cargo bay is like the equivalent of a trunk. I mean, not a trunk of a car, but like it's much smaller, just kind of like a room. Once you're in this room, you can feel kind of like the heat all around you. You can't see the fire. Like you see little kind of like glimmers of it, but you're in a non-atmosphere room and fire kind of needs like oxygen to survive, but there is still heat coming off things. So something is actively burning into the non-atmosphere and just creating this heat ever presently. You guys feel the heat as you kind of walk into the room, this cargo room. In this particular cargo room, you see two pails standing right in front of you, and this is a completely eerie sight. They're people. They're malnourished at this point. You feel like this archipelago ship has been here for a little while, even though it's on the outside, which is strange. But they're kind of malnourished, and they're just kind of like, they're hunched over, and they almost look dead standing up, leaning on each other. Just in the center of the cargo room.
This is going to be an interesting trip. Can I do
hell lights fires on a ship?
Can I do some kind of check to sort of see if there's a particular wall or direction that this heat is coming from? Like,
yeah, sure. Yeah, that would be mechanics, intelligence, without a doubt.
Okay. I don't have mechanics, so I got a 13.
Okay. That's good enough. You can pin down the heat. There is some damage over on this side of the room, probably coming from some conduits that went to the astral drive, and most likely you're getting the feeling that the atmosphere was vented to deal with the fire. Like almost like the Scalara, because what you understand of the Scalara is they have all the knowledge that the people who used to inhabit the bodies have. So it almost like they're not critical thinkers though. So it was like, oh, fire, how do we kill fire? Get rid of air. And then that was that. Okay. So like this was like they're just putting a band-aid on this over and over again until it falls into a sun, basically.
And like from where we are, can I tell if like there's doors leading in a
yes.
direction that's
Yes, like I said, this is a small, I'll make sure this is right. Yeah, a very small, like, private kind of transport. So you can almost see everything. There is a couple of bedrooms off to the side of the main kind of cargo area. There's an eatery area, kind of akin to what you saw in Croaks, and then a bridge. At the eatery area, you see two more of the pails. One of them is just sitting at the table, staring at a cup in front of him, like he is supposed to be doing this, but he doesn't know why. He's the first one you get to see the face of. They have no pupils in their eyes. It's just white. No bloodshot, no nothing, no veins, just white, nothing eyes. Just staring at this cup in front of him. Then you guys see one door. This door, however, does not go straight ahead. It goes kind of laterally, like from what you understand of what's going on with the ship. You're going to be making navigation rolls once you get deeper in, but right now you're on the first ship. So the only other port that this has attached to is another ship kind of in the opposite direction as the missionary one. But that's the port you got to move through. Alright, that was another episode of Astral Drive. We're really excited. We're getting towards the end of Season 2, which has been a super exciting thrill ride. But we are done for the week. You can come back in 2 weeks to check out the next episode. Real quick, got to give everybody the chance. Jerrold, Deus, what do you want to plug, sir?
Oh, gosh. I don't have anything to plug. Go watch everybody else's stuff.
Well, we'll get you more stuff to plug. Philbilly330, what do you want to plug, sir?
Well, we're on a little bit of a hiatus with TMNT and Other Strangeness.
Yes,
Zach is going to be converting that into the single mod, type game. So that's on a little bit of a break, which will give you guys the perfect time to catch up to where the story is if you're interested in doing that. That's a lot of fun. And then other than that, I know in the near future I'll be working with Zach to do a one-on-one in the John Wick universe, most likely. So look forward to that whenever that comes out.
Very excited about that. It's going to be one of our 15-minute half-hour shows, and very excited to do some one-off John Wick stuff with Billy. Wizards Respite, what would you like to plug, sir?
As always, wizardsrespite.com, website where all of these can be shown. All of the TRPG stuff is going to be up there, so definitely go check it out. We also have T-shirts and articles for DMs, GMs, and game designers who are trying to get into trying to think about different aspects of fleshing out games and how mechanics work.
So check out Wizards Respite. It's awesome. Everything you can check out there. I am actually doing a new podcast specifically for wizardsrespite.com, which all three of these gentlemen participated in. It is called Let's Start With Their Name, and it's about 20 to 40 minutes each episode. I take a TTRPG player and I just interview them about a character that they like. And that's what I'd like to plug this week. By the time this is coming out, at least 3 or 4 episodes are out. So check those out, because I'm really proud of that. I love interviewing stuff, and it's really fun to talk about some of these guys' characters, especially the ones I haven't gotten to see before. So, other than that, you can, of course, buy our shirts and Wizards Respite shirt at wizardsrespite.com. Check out all of that stuff. You can check out everything on Old Man Gaming on the YouTubes. You can also contact me on Facebook at Old Man Gaming DH, on X at Old Man Gaming 9, and you can join our Discord. Links in the description below. Influence us in all of our shows from there. We are rushing towards the end of Season 2. I do want to say probably this year we are going to be taking December off again, just because things get so crazy on the video game side. But we are still a ways away from that. I just want to start warning people ahead of time. As long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.